What are some of the advantages of the domestic asset protection trust? Well, it avoids probate just like any trust, the regular living trust. So you have the transfer of the assets is more efficient, confidentiality is maintained, and the property in a trust must be free from beneficiaries' creditors' claims. So that's a very important aspect, obviously. Now, in most states, the settlor's creditors can reach the trust assets if the trust was funded as a result of a fraudulent conveyance, or the settlor retains too much control, or settlor retains a beneficial interest, or trust is a sham, or if the trust is a typical revocable living trust. In most states and our clients have to understand, and it's something that they don't always understand, they think if they put their assets in a revocable living trust, it's going to be asset protected, and that's not true. It's not. And the creditor steps right into the shoes of the debtor, settlor, and can get those assets. Now, one thing I will tell you though, if you have, even with a revocable living trust, if you have an independent trustee, it is harder for a creditor to get to those assets. I mean, it's amazing, but it is harder, and it might give you some leverage just having a regular revocable living trust. So how much more leverage would you have if you have the domestic asset protection trust? Now, I like to introduce the subject of domestic asset protection trust like this, and this is how I introduce it to my clients. I say, for many years, even hundreds of years, offshore jurisdictions have had, by either case law or enabling legislation, trust provisions that protect the trust assets from creditors. And then in about 1997, some states in the United States started to, who were business-oriented states, and who have, like Nevada and Delaware, that are known for the setting up of organizations and having a strong trustee business organization forum. They enacted legislation that copied some of the offshore legislation and was designed to protect assets against creditor attacks. That's the way I like to introduce the subject of the, and I think that's a good way to let clients know that, because they've heard a little bit about offshore, and it's a good way to explain it. As a result of that action by there are spendthrift clauses in the asset protection trust states that protect the beneficiary's interest from creditors' claim. Most states have that too, but it's not generally enforceable for a settlor who is a beneficiary. And most states have statutes which provide that a settlor cannot create a trust simply for protection from creditors. And that is what the issue is going to be when creditors attack a domestic asset protection trust. They're going to argue that in their state, the legislation and the case law says that self-settled trusts cannot be protected from claims of creditors.